We talk about so many times around community leadership, and I think kind of the council sort of saying, actually a time of austerity, a time of the time when councils, oh, it's too difficult, we haven't got any budget, we must pare back, we've got fewer staff, we must do less, we must do less. And actually, it's the best opportunity to take the bull by the horns and do more, but working with partners, working with the partner community, and working with you guys to deliver what's been a fantastic project. Change which this has stimulated, not only in terms of the physical change, but actually in terms of the amount of the public who come up and talk about it, the amount of people who come down to watch it, the amount of people who actually have now faith, a belief that something is going to be different.
It's been my belief at the very beginning that the project itself and the new beaches provide us with a catalyst towards a renaissance and regeneration of our coastline.
No one came into this with a big ego. Nobody was determined to get taken the credit for it. We kicked something off in terms of putting £2 million in the budget. We persuaded Essex to match fund us on that. That was really great. We managed to develop a really good relationship with the Environment Agency, particularly with Mark here. And you know, the Environment Agency clearly got us and got what we were trying to achieve, and we were able to work with them and communicate with them. And the thing has just kind of grown and grown from there, from that tiny acorn of the £3 million, relatively tiny acorn of the £3 million quid we put in the budget, to the finished thing. Just a few years later, it's really quite phenomenal.
Stage management.
For coming along. I just think this is such an exciting day. It's so exciting to see actually our whole sea defences from Clacton right the way through to Holland-on-Sea completed. It looks amazing. It's going to be great for encouraging around our tourism, for our beach and for our residents in terms of being able to use the beaches. We're here today to celebrate the completion of the scheme, and bearing in mind the completion of the scheme is that it's much earlier than we thought it was going to be and on budget. And actually, how many times in public service do you hear about that being one of the expressions? So very proud to say that today we have completed that. We worked magnificently in partnership with the Environment Agency, with Mott MacDonald, with BVA and with many other partners, Essex County Council, the joint funding to do the work, to achieve the scheme, which is fantastic for Clacton and for the whole of Tendring and our residents. I think that the Environment Agencies and the partnership which we've had has been unique, and many have said how unique that partnership has been in terms of the way that the scheme has been developed and delivered, both in terms of being technical around some of the procurement issues which are innovative, as well as many of the physical and the technical solutions. So I just sort of say thank you very much indeed to our partners for all of your input, your help and support in doing this. I'm now going to pass over to Emma Howard-Boyd, who's the Deputy Chairman of the Environment Agency.
So thank you everybody. I'm Emma Howard-Boyd, I'm Deputy Chair of the Environment Agency, and it's a huge privilege to come out here today to help unveil this wonderful rock. I visited about 18 months ago with the full board of the Environment Agency, and it's a huge delight to see how the seafront has changed over that period of time. We have been hugely grateful for working very much in partnership with Tendring District Council, Essex County Council and Anglian Water, all of whom have been absolutely pivotal in terms of providing funding to allow the scheme to go ahead. So we hope that you, members of the community, enjoy what has been delivered for you today, and thank you very much for inviting me to help unveil the rock. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Emma. I'm Neil Stock, I'm the leader of Tendring District Council. On behalf of the residents of Tendring, I'd like to thank the Environment Agency in particular, being the key partner in this, but our other partners as well have all been involved in making this project a terrific success that it is today. One of whom, of course, is Essex County Council, and I'd like to introduce David Finch, leader of Essex County Council.
Thank you, Neil. That's very... I was expecting actually Neil to make a longer speech, so it caught me by surprise there. I think this project has already demonstrated very clearly to all of the residents of Tendring that partnership working can bring about real results for the community. The work that the Environment Agency, ourselves, Essex County Council, working with Tendring District Council, I think is exactly the sort of collaborative approach you need to make big changes within the county and within the area. I think it would be remiss of me if I didn't make mention of the leaders, Neil Stock, the current leader, but also previous leaders like Mick Page and indeed Peter Halliday, who all worked to actually make this project a huge success. And of course, behind every successful leader of a district council or indeed a county council, there's always a silver-tongued chief executive. And of course you have in actually Ian Davidson, that silver-tongued individual who's persuaded us all to collaborate and work together to bring this result about today. So I'd like to thank you for your time. I'd like to thank the weather for not raining, and I'd like to hand over again to Neil.
Thanks for that, David. One of our other partners, of course, was Anglian Water, and Chris Hayton, I think, is about. Chris, let's say a couple of minutes.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not going to take up much time at all because all we do is end up repeating what other people have said. But I think this scheme in particular, we were able to contribute £3 million towards the total cost of the scheme, which we're pleased to say sort of kickstarts a partnership funding programme for us, because we absolutely understand that working in partnership with local authorities and with other businesses across the region is really the best way to help adapt to the challenges provided by growing population and increased extremes of weather. I guess all that's left really is to say again thank you to the other organisations. We have a very strong working relationship with Tendring District Council and also with Essex County Council, and we look forward to continuing with that relationship going forward.
Thank you, Neil. I'm going to be a little more long-winded on this because there's some people, individuals that must be named and thanked for all the work they put in to achieve what we've achieved. I'm immensely proud, not only as an individual, but for the council and for the residents to be able to stand before you today and say that we have delivered one of the biggest sea defence schemes in the United Kingdom. Not only that, we've done it 3 years under time and 8% under budget. For a private company to do this is remarkable. For a bureaucracy, it's nothing short of miraculous. We ask the county to believe. We ask the Environmental Agency to believe. Then on top of that, we ask them to put their part of the public purse where our mouths were. Anglia Water followed suit with private monies. Not only that, but she left us to get on with it. That is what faith and political will can do. We said we would. We have, and we did. Tendring District Council is extremely pleased to show you that your belief in us was not misplaced, and in front of us you will see the proof. Whilst I had this opportunity, I must mention several key stages and players. Firstly, our present leader Neil Stock and his then deputy Peter Halliday, who in a previous incarnation had the foresight and courage to ring-fence £3 million seed money, an enormous sum for us. Then Essex County Council, who match funded. Our advisors, Mott MacDonald, who went with us every step of the way and are still successfully advising us. Their project manager, David Collery, who left no stone, well actually Norwegian rock, unturned, and held VBA to account. VBA and their subcontractors, particularly Jones Brothers, their expertise, their knowledge, single-mindedness was a pleasure to behold. I must also mention their project managers, Jack Decker, who set up the project, and Chris Meyer, who took over and brought it to a successful conclusion. A true friend to Tendring is the Area Coastal Management for the Environmental Agency, Mark Johnson. He has walked every step of the way with us, and I hope he will continue to do so. There is also the team at Tendring District Council, our CEO Ian Davidson, his Director of Service Mrs June Clare, our Chief Engineer Mike Badger. It was Ian's discovering very early on of the new funding arrangements of the Environmental Agency and his faith in the politicos and his officers. June's unflagging optimism, drive and evangelical zeal that drove this project. Mike, who just kept his nose to the grindstone and did all the nitty gritty, and by God was there a lot of that. I just trotted on behind, talking softly and carrying a big stick. Or was it talking loudly with a twig? Fantastic large-scale engineering in action, and now we have many people coming to enjoy the fabulous beaches we have created. This amazing new piece of England, and it is New England, which, as I say, we can all be immensely proud. To misquote Donald Rumsfeld, there were unknown unknowns to face which we daily expected to surface. They didn't. The only unknown unknown that did surface was serendipity, which enabled us to complete this massive undertaking with such economic brevity. Thank you all very much indeed.